Hey guys, it's me Giuseppe, and today I'm at Spirit Halloween in Rochester, Michigan. Let's go inside and do a tour. Alright, so starting off inside the store right here, we have the Crypt Countess animatronic that's new for this year, so I'm going to turn her on. Give me your soul, so that I may shine in darkness. Feel the warmth, feel the basket as you join into the eternal rest. It's too late to hide. You don't even have time to scream. Wow, that was a super cool animatronic. She was really tall in real life. I saw her in videos, but I didn't realize how tall she actually was. Let's move on to the next thing. Alright, so right here we have another new animatronic for this year. It's Jack the Reaper. He's the Spirit Halloween mascot, and he always has been. And it's super cool that this year they finally made an animatronic of him. And he's like Nibbles the clown from last year. He follows wherever you go. So I'll show you that now.
The Reaper! I make the skies turn orange. The wind howls.
There's a sign right there, in case you didn't know, that said, "Feel like you're being watched." I have motion tracking sensor technology. But he's really tall in real life, but he's a super cool animatronic. But yeah, so let's move on to the next thing. Alright, so now we're going to be walking through the Madison Scare Park archway, which is super cool. And so starting off right here, we have the newspaper thingy that shows the mutant sewer rat, which is another cool animatronic that we're going to be seeing pretty soon. And then over here is the shaking tombstone, which does not look like it's working, because since I've been here I haven't seen it move once. But next we're going to be going up to Bullseye the Clown. Alright, so coming up right here, we have Bullseye the Clown animatronic. He is like a clown target knife throwing circus act kind of animatronic. And as you can see, it shows he got hit in his eye and he has all kinds of other scratches. But most of the time it hits the board. But anyways, I'm going to get him going and show you guys how he works. He is a pretty popular animatronic, and he's also really cool in real life. He's also absolutely huge in real life as well. Like, I saw his box, and it's ginormous. And, like, when you look at him, like, his head is also giant. And his hands are even bigger. Like, these are his hands. If you see him in real life, you'll know what I'm saying. But he was super cool. Let's move on to the next animatronic. So right here, we have Valak the Nun. And we also have this creepy looking raccoon that had half of its torso bitten off. The Valak is $299. And we also have these foam brick props all over the ISC. But anyways, let's turn her on. She's super cool. She's a jump scare prop, kind of like Emmeline from 2023. And I don't even know how this brick is still there, because I don't know if you guys could see it, but when she launched forward, she absolutely launched that brick forward. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing. So right here is the Madison Scare Park subway train. Right here we got a broken window where you can see all the cool animatronics right there. And then we got Jack the Reaper and like a little glass bubble thingy behind some chains. Here's a watch your step sign. This is the front of the chain. And there's also some graffiti right there, but this is super cool. It's a lot bigger than the Fun House last year, I'll tell you that, from what I'm seeing. But let's move on to the next animatronic. Alright, so right here, she is kind of inconveniently placed because there's a giant pole here, but that's okay. It's Backbend Bonnie. She's kind of a reskin from Broken Spine Girl, which was a old Spirit Halloween animatronic, but let's turn her on. She does have a different, like, she moves a lot different than Broken Spine Girl, so, like, it's not a reskin, but it's still kind of similar, if you know what I mean. Most of you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but she's a really cool animatronic. If you like her, I do recommend getting her, because she is pretty cool. But yeah, let's move on to monkey business. So right here we have one of this year's cool clown animatronics. If you can guess why his name is Monkey Business, you'll see in a second. The box says just for you. He's super cool and he's also very tall and big in real life. But let's turn him on and get jump scared. Oh, he's whistling. He's super cool with the monkey jumping out of the box. And also, even in real life, the monkey is also giant, but that's super cool. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so right here we have the Spirit Halloween 2025 Fire Demon, and he is huge. And he's like a burning nether realm type demon, and he's kind of like, what was his name? I forget. The guy in 2023. I'll have to look him up in a little bit. But he reveals his face with the cloaks of his hands. Let's see him. So he's super cool. He probably looks cooler in the dark with the fire-looking light inside of his head, but let's move on to the next thing. All right, so right here is the 2025 long-awaited giant squid game, red light, green light, young Hida. And I'm gonna be showing you guys how she works, and I'm gonna play red light, green light myself because I believe it does detect you when you move, and it works like it does in the actual show. So I'm gonna do that real quick, so let's go see it.
We'll be playing red light, green light. You are allowed to move forward when it shouts out green light. Stop when it shouts red light. If your movement is detected afterward, you will be eliminated. Green light. Red light.
Was still really cool. It'd be awesome for you to have it in your yard on Halloween. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so right here we have the jumping spider, which has been at Spirit Halloween since like forever. It's a very classic animatronic. Let's turn him on. It's a basic jump scare animatronic, but it's still super cool. I believe it costs $99. Yeah. Well, let's move on to the night owl. All right, so right here we have the 6-foot night owl. So let's turn him on. He's gonna look pretty cool. He's pretty cool. His wingspan is huge. I have to back up pretty far to record him because of how giant he is. But it would have been cool if they had his mouth move, just because, like, I believe he is pretty expensive. So for what he is pretty cool. He's 6 feet tall, not the size of a normal owl, but is absolutely giant. So right here we have Trick or Treat Pete, and so Butterfinger is the official sponsor of Spirit Halloween. So there are Butterfingers in his bowl, but you can use him with any candy. You put the candy in the top of his hat, and when you turn him on, he spits it out of his mouth. He's a static animatronic, meaning he doesn't move, but he is really cool with the fact that he does spit out the candy for trick-or-treaters on Halloween, and also he is pretty tall, so let's turn him on. He isn't doing anything. They do have fake Butterfingers in his bowl, but usually he does spit out candy. Everywhere I've seen him, he does spit out Butterfingers just because that's Spirit Halloween's official sponsor. But he is pretty quick, but I think he spits out a lot at a time. It is a lot shorter than the videos I've seen, but he's still pretty cool. Alright, let's move on to the next thing. Alright, right here I have Sinister Strawman. He is one of the many Mr. Dark reskins. Mr. Dark was like a skeleton with a black cloak. Now this guy is the coolest considering he has multiple voice lines unlike all the other ones. He's $329, which I believe is the price of most of these guys. They start off pretty short like this and they launch up in the air to like 7 or 8 feet, I forget. But let's turn him on. Oh no, this guy goes to 9 foot 5 feet, so almost 10 feet tall. But let's turn him on. And he is working.
Much more than you.
Wow, he's super cool. He's really tall like all of them. Towering Tallulah last year was also really cool. But Sinister Strawman has got to be my favorite out of all the reskins, considering he has multiple voice lines. And I also like scarecrows. But let's move on to the Twisted Grandma, shall we? I'll let him go down first. Alright, right here we have Twisted Grandma. She's on a motion sensor as she was going when I was recording Sinister Strawman, but let's turn her on. Oh. Now is she not turning on? Oh, I guess she wasn't on a motion sensor. I accidentally stepped on her step pad. She's really cool. She's pretty popular from this year. It's a cool jump scare animatronic, and then they got a rat and a giant fly right there next to her feet. But she's super cool. Let's move on to the next animatronic. Right here we have Headcase Harry, the two-headed clown with candy in his hand and a knife in the other. He's super cool. Every year we get an animatronic where you get a special step pad. Instead of a step pad, it's usually a button or sometimes a door knocker. Or last year was the carnival coin thingy. But let's turn him on with the in case of emergency subway push button.
You have a beautiful head.
He's super cool with the two heads and the blood all over him. That's a good addition to him.
And let's carve up some fun this time. Our treats are crafted from your darkest nightmares.
Alright, he was super cool. Now I'm going to be going inside the subway train. Alright, so right here we're in the cockpit of the subway. There's this lever which I'll be pulling in a minute. There's also this phone. And then there's also like ISC things. These are like the rat props and stuff, and then this is all the other things. Right here you can see Young Hee Squid Game doll. She costs $700. And all the control panel costs $50. Like this area, the cockpit. But that's super cool. Now I'm gonna show you what this lever does. Real quick, right here first, there is a map. You can take a picture of this. It is the route for all the for the subway, and it has lots of names of many various animatronics. But anyways, right here I'm gonna be pulling this lever, which is really cool because the floor, I believe, vibrates. But let's test it out. Yeah, the floor is vibrating. That's super cool. And then right here we also have a phone, which if you press one of these three buttons, I've tried it out, it says different things about like you should run or don't go to Madison Square Park, which I wonder why. Maybe because all these guys are here. But it's super cool. It's really quiet, so you guys cannot hear it on the camera, of course. But if you come to Spirit Halloween in real life, be sure to click all three of these buttons and see all the voice lines. It's super cool, but I'm gonna move to the animatronics in this subway. So right here we have the scary sitting scarecrow, who also has Butterfingers in his bowl. It's a cool addition that all the candy props, they put fake Butterfingers in their bowls for this year. But I believe if you sit next to him, he activates. Which, is that true? I believe so. However, it's not working due to him not being on. I believe maybe his batteries ran out because I believe he is a battery-powered animatronic. But these seats are real seats. They're like really cushioned and they're honestly pretty comfortable. But let's move on to Electrifying Corpse. My bad, I meant to say Electrified Corpse, but let's turn him on. super cool. Now, I have to mention, there are some sponsors up here, which I didn't realize. There's Kill Zone, all-purpose pest control, probably to kill that guy. There's also another route showing where the train is going to be going in the cockpit. There's also the Terror Nursery, which is for the horror babies that they do sell here. And then over here, it says missing person, Betty Sharp. And then it shows a phone number, which Betty Sharp is an animatronic from 2022. But I wonder what happens if you actually call that phone number. If you want to try it, you can. But I'm going to be moving on to the mutant sewer rat. Alright, right here we got the mutant sewer rat, so I'm going to turn him on. He is pretty short compared to all the other guys, but he is a lot bigger than I thought he would look in real life. Alright, he was super cool. We got more of those foam cinder blocks and bricks, and we also got the hanging rat props right there. And then we also got the electrifying things that we've seen at Spirit Halloween before, but I believe they aren't on. Well, let's go see some other cool stuff. So right here we have the exit to the subway. This is another archway. However, there's no animatronics, or I guess you could say there are, because there's lots of them for sale. We got 2 two-faced teddies and 1 electrified corpse, which is pretty cool. A mutant sewer rat, a bullseye, which his box is huge. Then we got a Gordo, which is surprising to see. But this is super cool. This looks more actually like an entrance because it says enter, swipe to ride, like you have to swipe a ticket or a card to get on the train. But this is super cool. Let's go see some other stuff. Right here we got some classic hanging skeletons that we see at everywhere that sells Halloween stuff. And then we got the hanging Jack the Reaper, which I believe did come out at the anniversary in 2023 of Spirit Halloween. But we don't need him anymore because we got the animatronic. And then over here we have some skeletons, some hanging rotten pumpkin props, which is pretty cool. And then over here we got the LCD eye skeleton and this guy, the hanging bloody corpse. And then we got another rotten pumpkin and more LCD eye skeletons. Let's go see some other stuff. Right here, they all are selling 2 Cerberuses, which was a return that came back last year, which is pretty cool. And they also have a Halloween pumpkin on top of these 2 boxes, but that's super cool. Alright, so right here we have more of those hanging props, which is super cool. We got the barbed wire corpse, which is super cool to see in real life, which I did see last year, I believe. We got some cool clown hanging props. These are pretty cool to hang in your yard if you want them. And then over here we got a ton of jumping spiders, as you can see. I'm going to go over and show you guys the inflatables now. Alright, so right here we got the inflatable section, and these are also some pathway markers and cool stuff. But over here we got all the classic Spirit Halloween inflatables. And we also got this inflatable, the Young He inflatable, which is 12 feet tall. I believe it's taller than the animatronic over there, but the animatronic is still definitely cooler due to it moving and being like the actual show Squid Game. We got Fright in the box, and right here we got a Ghostface animatronic from last year. If any of you guys want him, you can come here and buy him in person. Then we got 2 fogging skull piles, which have been out for quite a while. We also got the spinning eyes clown. And we have some of the door knocker animatronic switches, which I do own one of those, and I might use with my haunt this year. We'll see. Then we got a few more inflatables right here. And then we got the horror dolls right here. Right here we have the Butcher. We have some other creepy babies, the Plague Doctor, and then we got 2 Grave Watchers up there, which is super cool. And they do have the brand new Dagger Mike doll, which I'll try him out. As you can see, he sounds just like the normal Dagger Mike animatronic. He's a cool horror doll for this year. Let's move on to the horror babies. Alright, so we got a horror baby Art the Clown, and then we got all the zombie babies. This is the new guy, Clobbering Claude, with the rattle in his hand. he is super cool. And we also got some of the non-moving ones, some of the other moving ones. The barbed wire one that was in the picture for the daycare advertisement inside the train. And we got the one who eats the ants, or the spiders, my bad. And this guy right there. But these are all super cool. Let's move on to some other stuff. Right here we have some gravestones or tombstones. I believe this one is new. I don't know. Oh, it's a fogging urn gravestone, which is pretty cool. And then we got some other ones. And then we have a Beetlejuice one that's lighting up that says, "Here lies Beetlejuice," which is super cool. And then we also have a cool backdrop that we usually see every year. And then right here we got, these are new. They're, I believe, yeah, they're made of foam. They're the bus, the horror bus. This one is the Medusa one. And then we got a few more gravestones and some other fogging urns, but I'm gonna go look at some other stuff. Alright, so right here we got all the bloody crime stuff, do not cross, Halloween caution tape, bloody hands and arms, which I do have that hand right there, or the arm, whatever you want to call it. It's called an arm. A bloody body bag, which is pretty cool. And then over here we got all the masks, which are super cool. We got this super cool Pennywise mask right here, which I have seen before, but I don't think they sell it on the website, so I don't know, but that is a really cool mask. If I ever be Pennywise, I would want this mask. And then we got a skeleton horse, Sparky the Clown, which looks like Sinister Steve, some other wolf masks, some more clown masks, all the Michael Myers masks, lots of them, a Ghostface mask, a horse mask, Frankenstein mask, an ice cream clown mask, a Crouchy mask, and of course an Art the Clown mask, and then a Leatherface mask. Over here we got some other masks, Ghostface mask, the Purge masks, the Old Timer mask, and some other cool stuff. And then we have the Stitch face masks, and then a few other Stitch face masks. And then the Marshmallow mask, which is always a popular costume for many people. But let's go see some other stuff. Right here we have some Chucky dolls and Chucky's son Glenn, which I don't need these because last year I got Home Depot's life-size Chucky animatronic. Then they also have the Chucky horror baby, which I believe is new for this year. And they also have this light-up statue from Chucky 2, which is when he gets his hand cut off. But let's go see some of these signs. So right here we have some horror signs, which are pretty cool. A Chucky box sign, some other stuff, a Chucky family picture, which is interesting, and all kinds of other cool signs, which are super cool, that you can hang pretty much anywhere. But yeah, these are super cool. Let's go see some other stuff. Right here, starting off, we got some SpongeBob costumes. We got a Shrek mask and Shrek feet and a Lord Farquaad costume. We have a Huggy Wuggy mask, which is super cool. We also have lots of other costumes in all these aisles, which is super cool. Let's go see some other costumes. Right here we got lots of cool clown costumes, which is really cool. We have Wacky Mole, we have Crouchy. Those guys look familiar. This guy looks like the Towering Clown. Then we also got Hugs, which is super cool. Then we got all the clown weapons and props and stuff, which is super cool. Let's go see some other costumes. Right here we got some Fortnite costumes, all kinds of cool Fortnite costumes. We have Peely, we have Peely Bone, the Halloween version. We have the skeleton fish stick, the party trooper, and all kinds of other cool stuff. We have the giant chrome ghost face sign right here. We have some Naruto costumes, marshmallow costumes, Skibbity toilet costumes, which it looks like they made a new Speaker Man one for this year, which is interesting why they're still making those. We got some other cool costumes, all kinds of Reapers and stuff right here. A skeleton mohawk mask right there, as you can see. And then we also got some Michael Myers stuff, Michael Myers costumes and masks. And then right here is the Ghostface area. I've never seen this, but this is Ghostface carrying someone. I've seen it with aliens and sumo wrestlers, but never with Ghostface. That's a pretty cool costume. And then we got some other cool costumes up there. here's the Poppy Playtime stuff with all the Huggy Wuggy and Killy Willy and all that. And then Five Nights at Freddy's costumes, which are super cool. But yeah, and then we got the giant chrome Ghostface sign up there, which you can see a lot closer right here. But let's go see if they have anything else. Oh, right here they have Chucky costumes. This is what I was last year. I don't know what I'm gonna be this year, but that's the mask I wore. But the Chucky costume was really cool, and I really liked being him, which was super cool. I hope I figure out soon what I'm gonna be this year. But yeah, let's go see if they have anything else. Right here they have some Shorty Killer Clowns from Outer Space costumes, which are super cool. Then they got these trick-or-treat bags over here that are like brooms or whatever, and you like put the candy inside of, as an example, looks like Jack the Reaper's hand or a skeleton head or all kinds of cool stuff. And then we also got these jester staffs right here, which are super cool. And then we got more Wacky Mole and other clown costumes, which is super cool. Let's go see if they have anything else. Right here they have a Jurassic Park T-Rex little bag, which is super cool. I haven't seen any of the new Jurassic Park costumes for this year, which is interesting. Hopefully they will be here sometime soon this year. We got some more costumes over here. But yeah, I'm thinking that this is probably a wrap-up for today's tour. But stay tuned, because we'll have lots of other tours coming soon. And then right here to wrap it off, we got 2 Headcase Harrys in stock at the store. And by the way, this store was abandoned Party City, if you're wondering. So if you don't know where this is and you're in the area, it's where Party City used to be. And then right here, they do have all the animatronics from this year. I was bummed that Pennywise didn't come back this year. Hopefully next year, we got Art the Clown, Santa Art the Clown, and all the other cool animatronics, which is super cool. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This will probably be a wrap-up for today's tour. Oh, to cap off the video right here, we have all the t-shirts, which I totally forgot to record. But let me see, do they have the new Squid Game Guard Spirit Halloween logo shirt? It doesn't look like they do, but they do have the one from last year, the Art the Clown one, which is super cool. I might be getting that shirt sometime soon, because I kind of wanted it last year, but I couldn't find it. But anyways, I think this is a wrap-up for today's tour, finally. Say goodbye to Young He. They do have the Squid Game costumes right there, but this was a really cool store. It was pretty much perfect, like the flagship location. And I hope to go to more stores before the end of Halloween 2025 season ends. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe. This was a pretty much perfect store. They had all the animatronics on display, which is usually hard to find. I feel like this year I've been seeing most stores are pretty good. But thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for lots of more Halloween tours. Bye!